Hello, everyone. Welcome to William in the Magic Box. Today on our show, we are going to have Justin. Justin is from Texas in the USA. So let's see what Justin has to say. Enjoy the interview. So, hello, Justin. How are you?
I'm doing great. How are you?
I'm very well. Thanks so much for taking the time with this beautiful day today behind you. My God, look at that.
Yeah, we do this thing every year. There's a place called Sherwood Forest Fair. It's a Renaissance festival. Today is the first day, and we come out here and camp, and it's amazing.
That's beautiful. So, tell me a little bit about this event. It happens every year.
Yes, for 2 months, March and April. It's out by just a little outside of Austin, Texas. And oh my gosh, it is such a safe place. It is eclectic. People from all different backgrounds. It's just beautiful. And it's very, a lot of people dress up as in the Renaissance era and just have a great time and leave the world behind. We're in a different reality. And it's wonderful. So,
I love that. I'm so glad that we are doing this interview right now on this day. That's amazing.
yeah.
So
Well, how are you doing?
I'm good actually. Today it's in London. It's a sunny day. It's a beautiful day. It doesn't feel like. I mean, I think we're still in winter, but it feels like those crispy old fall days. The
Uh
autumn.
huh.
So this morning was very foggy, but now it's clear sky. It feels like great outside. It's not. I'm sure no warm like over there, but
Yeah.
still it's still the same.
Well, great.
So tell me where you're from, Justin.
Well, originally I was born in Denver, Colorado.
Okay.
But in the winter of 1969, my family headed to Texas. And so
Well,
I've lived in Texas ever since.
what's the best part of waking up in Texas every morning?
Mainly the warmth,
Okay.
the weather. I enjoy the weather. I love hot weather.
Uh-huh.
Uh, so that's the best part. Now, if you turn on the news or anything, then it's like, Texas. Wait. So, that to me, the best part is the weather.
Amazing. Okay, Justin. So let's start the interview talking about something that you are very open about it on your social media about
Uh-huh.
being a trans man. Yeah.
Yes.
So I would like you to tell me a little bit more about your journey so far.
Okay. So when I was as a kid, anyway, I just always assumed I was a boy until people told me I wasn't. And it was very confusing. I didn't understand it. It's just like, what is wrong with people? And I just figured one day I was going to wake up and everybody would see me. And unfortunately, puberty hit. And it was like, oh my gosh, this isn't what I expected. And so it was
Right.
very difficult. And back then, I never knew of any trans people. I'd heard of Christine Jorgensen, who was a
Right.
transsexual woman, but never even knew. So I just tried to live my life. I actually became quite a feminist because it's like, if I can't do that, then girls can do anything guys can do. And and I tried that until I was about 22, and it was like I'm not a lesbian. I just can't live like this anymore. And thank goodness a friend of mine who was a nurse knew about this clinic in Galveston that dealt with, and we called them transsexuals back then. Transgender word hadn't come up, which I so prefer transgender because it has nothing to do with my sexuality. It's my gender. And so I found this great place. Had a very supportive mother and family. She and my grandmother actually paid for my top surgery.
Wow.
And so, yeah, I started my journey that way, and I never looked back. It was like I was able to unzip the suit, step out, and I'm like, I can breathe. And it's just been an amazing journey. And like I said, that was 41 years ago.
Wow, amazing. I love
And
that, Justin. And I think the fact that you have the support of your mom at the time, I think it's a big plus for sure.
oh yeah, definitely. Because back then, I didn't know about it, nobody knew about it. My mom actually, she completely understood at the beginning. She's like, "Oh, yeah, okay, that's what's going on. I
Wow.
understand." Yeah, and again, unfortunately, a lot of trans people don't have that support.
Totally.
Yeah.
I see. But and besides, of course, your mom and the other members of your family, relatives, and let's say friends around, they give the same support as well or not?
Well, it was interesting. So my friends at the time were a lot of lesbians,
Right.
and that's who I hang out with. And it was interesting. I had two reactions. One was, "Ooh, I could date you, and we can go out in public." And the other was, "Traitor, why do you want to be a guy?" Yeah. So, so that was very interesting. And at that point, it's like if I lost friends, if I never dated anybody, I would rather be myself. I am willing to live a life of solitude just to be myself. And I think
Totally.
I think that's like with a lot of trans people. A lot of people are like, "Oh, you're so courageous to do that." It's like it wasn't courage, it was survival, you know?
Oh, I've heard that before. I've heard that
Yeah.
before. And so true. It's not about a choice or anything. It's about yourself. It's something in you.
Hmm. Yeah, and it's hard to keep in. It's like it's very hard to wear a mask and try to be something you're not. And I
Totally.
never actually, I mean, I always was, as they called it, a tomboy, you know. I actually dress the same way I've always dressed, shirts and jeans. I kind of went against the grade, but unfortunately, my trans sisters, they had it much worse than me, and they do today even because I think patriarchy and all that. So
Totally. And what
yeah.
do you do for work, for living, Justin?
I started when I was 20 as a courier, and a courier here in Houston. I had a little truck, and you pick up packages, deliver it, and that sort of thing. I actually figured out I was pretty good with it, and I had a logistical mind. So I started my own courier service in '89, built that up, sold it, started another one, sold it, and the one I have presently, I've had for 22 years. And it's small. It's kind of small. I don't even advertise. I'm not even listed. You can't find us. I got a few guys work because I want to stay little.
Right.
But I've actually moved more into transporting artwork, which has
Oh,
been very cool. Yeah.
oh, amazing. Okay, Justin, so during the interview, I'm going to explore a little bit more about your life and also about your journey so far, okay?
Okay.
Are you
Tell
ready
me if
to
I
go?
talk too much.
No, it's okay. Please just be
Okay.
yourself, just be
Okay.
yourself. And, we are here just to having a great time.
Okay.
Are you ready to go on a beautiful journey for your members in life and share your point of views?
Yes.
Amazing. Welcome to William and the Magic Box.
All
So
right.
I'm here, my best friend. Full of random questions. What I'm going to do, I'm just going to play a song just for us to relax before the first question. Okay,
Okay.
let's do it. Right, so before we start the game, during the interview, if it comes up a question that you don't want to talk about, you don't want to answer, always can change. Okay,
Okay. Cool.
amazing. Okay, this one's going to be very easy. What's your favorite weekend activity?
I'm doing it right now. Sherwood Fair at the Renaissance Festival. That's my
Tell me,
favorite.
tell me something. And did you always have this connection with nature?
Yes, I believe so. Yeah, ever since I was little, being born in Colorado, we'd go up into the mountains, and yeah, I love it. I absolutely love it. That's where I feel like the most comfortable myself.
And why is that?
I think as in nature, it's messy. You look at woods; it looks chaotic in a way, but there's
Hmm.
so much life going on. I mean, start looking down, you see all this life. And in nature, there's total acceptance.
Right,
There's not any judgment on us.
right.
So everybody, it just feels very peaceful.
And how far is this place you are right now from? No, from the city, Austin. Is far away or not?
It's not that far. I think it's probably about 45 minutes to an hour. And I actually live about an hour and a half from here. So,
I see. Perfect.
mhm.
Next question. Let's do it.
Okay.
Okay, next question is, if you could make up a brand new school subject, what that would be?
Make up a new musical subject?
No, a new school subject, like a
Or
new
a
school.
school subject.
Yeah.
I would do it in the company of dogs. I would do a subject on learning how total unconditional love. There's a dog now. I don't know if you can hear him. Thank you. But learning from dogs this love, trust, um, just this amazing unconditional non-judgment, whatever. Just so I would teach people about dogs and
And
how to
so
learn from them.
and so far, what has been the most meaningful lesson you've learned from your dog?
I think it is that unconditional love. It
Hmm.
doesn't matter what's going on with you or that they're there. They always pick up. They will always love you.
And how actually I saw the picture on your profile. I think you have the picture with the dog behind. What's their name, the dog?
Okay, that's Ari,
Okay.
and he's our littlest one. We just lost one a couple days ago, one of our old girls. So we have 11 now. But so yeah, that's my little Ari. He's my little buddy. He was the runt of the litter. So
And how he came into your life.
well, I was making a delivery down in Bishop, Texas, an art delivery, and I pulled into this gas station. I see this little mama and baby dog running around. So I pick him up, brought him home, took him to my vet. No chip. The mama was 18 months. The baby was 9 months, and my vet was giggling and said the mama's pregnant. So she ended up having 6 babies.
Wow.
So I thought I adopted 2. We adopted 8. And Ari was the runt of the litter there. So that's how we got them. That was 4 years ago.
Wow. It's interesting to say about dog. I had an interview with a lovely man, I think from Los Angeles last year, and he said something that I never thought about. He said, William, do you know why dogs, they always are cheerful, they always have this beautiful approach when you arrive and everything? It's because they only live in the present. They don't live in the past, they don't live in the future. They just
Yes.
the present. And I was like, my God, I never thought about that before.
Yes. That is true. It is. It's a beautiful part of who they are and what they share with us, and we can learn from them.
That's what we could learn big time, because our
Hmm.
tendency, it's always been the past or sometimes in the future. We forget about the exactly present, which is precious.
Right. Right. You know what? I'm going to add that to my new curriculum for the school.
Yeah, I
Living in the
truly
present.
think that when you think about yourself, when you analyze Justin, what's the biggest joy of being you? What do you like the most about being yourself?
I think my joy. I think
Hmm.
my temperament. I've always had that. If something bad's happening, I realize there's something that it's meaningful. It's for a reason. I don't know what it is right now, but I always see down along the line. Oh, I'm so glad. I mean, it hurt, but I'm so glad it happened because it's brought me to this point or to this person or whatever. So I think that part of me that I enjoy the most is that I don't look at the world with dread. I see the
Right.
possibilities in it.
And you always been this way?
I think so. Even as a little kid, I
Uh-huh.
kind of understood in a weird way that it was going to be okay. And and then as I grew and that like now being an old man, having those experiences, I try to tell people because you hit something that's so devastating. It's like I've hit those places so many times and come out the other side even better. That okay. So I'm thankful as a kid, somehow I knew that.
And when you think about your childhood memories, what's the best memory that comes to your mind?
Ooh, that's a good one. I'm sure it had to do with a dog. So probably just being with my dog. I mountains. Okay, walking up in the mountains, I think is my best childhood memory.
Wow.
Yeah.
And since you left Colorado, did you kind of do you still have some relatives there? You come back sometimes or not? Or everyone is out in Texas.
Well, when we first moved, we used to make a trip every year back because I had aunts and uncles and grandparents, cousins. Now everybody's pretty much gone. My brother moved back. I have one older brother,
Hmm.
and we go up there every now and then. So don't make too many trips up there.
And which person in your family right now, or in your life that you are more connected with, they're more close to right now?
Actually, my family, my blood family, my brother and I mean, we've got a bit of a strange relationship.
Uh-huh.
He actually called me the day after the inauguration just to see how I was doing. And I hadn't talked to him for a long time. We don't have a close relationship.
Hmm.
And my mom, my parents are gone. I'm not close to any of my cousins or anything like that. So I don't really have
And
blood
today,
relatives I'm close to. But
and
my
to
wife's family, I'm close to.
wow. And your wife right now, how long you been together for?
We're 14 years.
14
Going on
years.
14 years. Yeah. And
Oh
I
wow.
never thought I never thought I would get married. I was perfectly fine living with my pack of dogs. And then I met her when I was 48 and I just knew she was my person.
Wow. And how did your path cross?
Actually at a church. And I
Wow.
say at a church, I'm actually Jewish.
Okay.
But I got involved with a church, which that's a whole nother thing. I've been thrown out of 4 churches and stuff like
Wow.
that once they found out. And this last church, she had gone there and she wanted to start a singles club or a singles thing, not for hooking up, just because people, family, they get together. And they told me, the pastor's like, you should be, I'm like, I don't want to do anything like that. We met and, but it was wild when I first met her. I was so drawn I thought her spirit. And if you would have asked me what color her eyes were, I don't know. And then I realized she was brilliant. I loved her mind. And then
Oh,
came a point where we held hands for the first time. Electricity came up to me. I looked at her and I was like, oh my gosh, she's beautiful. And we were married 6 months later.
oh my God.
Yeah.
Okay, so your wife is watching this interview right now and you have a moment, an opportunity to send her a message. What would you say?
Oh my gosh, I love you so much. I can't imagine a world without you anymore. She is everything.
Sweet. Next question, let's do it. Okay, so before the next question, Justin, of course, we got connected through TikTok, through social
Mhm.
media. Yeah. And I was watching one of some of your videos and it's very inspiring. It's very educates as well, like educating people and being open. So tell me what's the message behind, yeah, when you post your videos, when you connect with people? What would you like people to take with them when they connect with you through social media?
I think the most thing is hope.
Mm-hmm.
Um, it's funny, TikTok, I had an account and I always just posted my dogs. I never wanted to do that. I never needed, but after the inauguration, my wife was out of town. I just felt such grief that I had to express it. And then I couldn't believe how many other trans people were out there. And I couldn't believe that they didn't know that there were trans people before 10, 15 years ago. So that really inspired me like, hey guys, there's life out there. It's possible you can live a full life. We have been here. So I think that's really what I want to, put out there for my trans siblings and also for anybody else. We are just people. We're just humans living our life just like everybody else.
And what's the most frequent questions that people ask you on social media, or which topic or which kind of thing that they're not more understand about? There is something.
Um, let's see if I've gotten Actually, I haven't really gotten a whole lot of questions. It's really
Okay.
interesting. I've gotten a few from trans guys, on hormones and certain things like that.
Right.
Um, but I would imagine most people, if they're not of this world, the trans world, their question, because it's such a bizarre thing for most people to wrap their minds around.
Mm-hmm.
How do you, how does that work? So, a lot of people ask me, have you always been that way? Um, what made you turn? That kind of
I,
thing.
I see. Okay. Next question is, tell us something that you have done that you feel very proud of yourself.
Hmm. I would have to say married Kimberly. I am just so happy. I'm proud of myself for doing that. I am proud of myself for putting myself out there, because before, like I said, it was like, I'm good with me. And that had beat through that, my world has opened up. I now can share myself with other people as well.
Absolutely. Do you think that what's the meaning of love for you, Justin?
The meaning of love is this safe, trusting. I trust her so much. Like I said, I've given my heart. I trust her with my heart,
Mm-hmm.
and I I love that I can be able to be completely me, and I love that she brings in so many other aspects and things that I wouldn't, that aren't me, other parts of me, and I can enjoy that as well. So to me, love is a total trust, again, just for me, and comfort with someone.
Being a transgender in Texas, in Austin, do you feel like, it's more, let's say, the support is more positive, or is still stigma there or negativity based on your experience or your surrounding?
Well, I'm not based in Austin. Austin's a weird city. Austin is like not of Texas. They're like this one blue dot that
Right.
is totally. We love going to Austin. Actually, love
Mm-hmm.
it because you feel very comfortable. You can walk around. Houston also is a bit more eclectic, but Texas as a whole, it is not trans friendly at all. Yeah, we're actually thinking about, seeing if we need to move eventually. But yeah, Texas is not really a safe place.
And which place do you think in the US do you think it's more accepted, based in information or based in experience? What would you say?
As far as states go, Colorado, California,
Mm-hmm.
definitely. New York, there's some other, few other states that are really, I believe, they have our back, and they're working to keep our rights and see us as full citizens and part of society.
Totally. Cool.
Yeah.
Next question. Ready?
Okay.
Let's do it. Next one.
Okay.
Okay. Next question is, what's your idea of a perfect friendship?
A perfect friendship. I think again with trust that
Mm-hmm.
you can totally be yourself with. You can also cancel plans,
Mm-hmm.
and that's okay. The other person's not offended. And just being there, that you can call them at 3 a.m. in the morning. I'm stuck in the mud, and they're gonna come pull you out. So
Most of your best friends, they live as well in Texas or a different part of the world or the US?
I'm married to her. I'm married to
Oh,
my best friend.
oh.
And then my other best friend, he's actually, I was there the day he was born. He's 24 now. He works with me. We've always said, he's my nephew or whatever, but he is my best friend. So he's right here.
Sweet. Next one. Let's do it.
Okay.
Next question is, oh, this is a good question. If you're
Okay.
not yourself, would you like to be yourself?
If I'm not myself,
If you're not yourself, would you like to be yourself, knowing the person you are?
oh yes, oh yes.
Tell me
I,
why.
it sounds kind of. I know my wife sometimes like, you are so accepting of you just love yourself, don't you? In a way, I do. I really like my outlook on life, and I love that. My goal every day when I'm working is because I meet a lot of people, but they're very short interactions. What I
Mm-hmm.
love to do is I love to bring light. I love to bring in a smile to them and uplift them. So I think I have the ability to disarm people. I'm short in stature. I'm 5'4". And I don't carry myself all. So I feel like wherever I go, I can disarm someone
Mm-hmm.
and make them feel comfortable. So that's what I like about myself.
And what's the meaning of life for you?
The meaning of life is to pull out of it our time of existence here to explore within, like grow as much as you possibly can
Mm-hmm.
and allow people around you to grow and be themselves and just try to enjoy our time here as much as possible. I don't know if that's really a good answer, but
No,
it's
it's
kind
honest. And I
of
love it. And it suits very well your answer with your surround, your background.
yeah.
3 questions left. Let's do it.
Okay.
Okay, before the next question, of course, you mentioned already, we always knew that you were a boy since you were born.
Mm-hmm.
But my question for you is, did you feel, when you start your transition, after that, when you start your first, when you start going through procedures and this and that, did you kind of felt different, or did you feel like, okay, I feel more myself now or not? If you could share.
Okay, so it's kind of it's a double answer. I felt more myself. I could be myself. But on the other hand, I started feeling less than. I I had a lot of confidence, as a kid, because I think as a girl or being stoned as a girl, I was macho. I mean, I was more exaggerated, because I was like, And then once I started transition, I didn't have to do that, so I felt very
Interesting.
yeah. I became more gentle.
Wow.
Yeah, it was a very cool transition. I could
Uh-huh.
allow myself to be myself, but then also I started feeling very intimidated by guys, especially alpha males. I I felt very less than. Like Allison was like, oh gosh, and I feel very uncomfortable. Um, so that was a weird thing. I felt more myself, and I allowed myself to be a gentle person.
Wow.
So, but I've been but that's those things work through them.
I see. And when you say you've been intimidated by the other boys, why is that? Do you think it's about the appearance or about their approach?
Well, I don't think it had to do with the appearance because of muscular and stuff, but what the approach is by not being raised around, but being more toward being pushed into the female, which I love. I'm very comfortable around females. I love it.
Of course.
Guys, I didn't like their banter. I don't like the locker room talk.
I see. I
Yeah,
see.
and the way that they're constantly like digging at each other, they're like sticking a knife and just kidding, and I don't like that at all. So that was the thing. It's like I don't like this. Where's the girls? I'll go hang out with them.
Love it. Okay, next question is, what scares you the most about your future?
The unknown. Um, it's weird. It's not a sense of really. I'm not really scared. It's almost like, again, goes back to my temperament. It's almost like an adventure.
Right.
Because we're settled. We've had our place. We live out in the country. 7 years. We got everything settled, and we may have to uproot, and we may have to travel, and I might, be arrested or whatever. There's things that we look down. A lot of people say, "Well, you're being too dramatic." I don't know what's going to happen. So that unknown of the future, almost seeing a concentration camp or whatever, those things, that's unsettling in a way. So just the unknown of how I'm going to be treated, how trans people are going to be dealt with in this country.
Do you think that, in the future or sometime people they're gonna be more, let's say, understand or more compassionate about trans community? Do you think one day it will happen like completely, Justin?
It might be a utopian view, but yes, I've had the advantage of in the 80s, in the early 80s when I first started transitioning, we were getting so close. Not the transgender part, but the queer community. We had androgynous superstars around us. We had, I mean, it was moving into that, right? And then the AIDS hit and shut everything down. And then we've been up into the Trump era,
Mhm.
we have been moving into a very accepting space.
Totally.
So because of that, it's like that pendulum. They're pushing so hard, but I see it as that toothpaste in a tube. That toothpaste has been squeezed out. You can't put it back in. You can try. They're trying to shove us back in. So I
Mhm.
have great hope that we will. I think there's going to be some dark times ahead. Again, so is darkest before the light.
Yeah.
So I do have hope. I don't know if I'll be able to see it in my lifetime. I hope so. But I do believe one day people won't judge people on a gender. It will be character, dealing with each other. It doesn't matter what all that other stuff is.
I,
So,
it's so true what you just say, and I believe that as well. I think there will be one day, just in that this is not going to be even a topic of a discussion. You know what I mean about your
right.
gender. It don't even be. People you're gonna talk to people without even wonder or thinking or their gender. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
It's I've been watching some videos of a famous trans woman in Brazil. I'm from Brazil, originally from Brazil.
Okay.
She started her transition last year, and she's 40 years old. So she's through the process of taking hormones, a lot of things going, through her, and she's being open about it. She's been explaining a lot about things that I even didn't know, and it's great to watch people like you, like breaking stigmas and educating the
Hmm.
society. I think it's amazing. Um, you start your transition, like say, very young, yeah,
Hmm.
and some people they just have the opportunity, or maybe they just understand that later in their lives. Do you
Right.
think that there is a big approach for who is transition at the time, like at different ages, or not? Do you think it's the same? You go through the same thoughts, or you understand in a different way? How do you see that?
Well, I think there's this sense because there's an old saying: if you met one trans person, you've met one trans person, which meaning everybody's experience is different.
Right.
So again, it's like if everybody could transition when they were younger, if they start seeing that, they can take
Mhm.
puberty blockers immediately. There's not all these surgeries they're gonna have to have. How
Yeah.
cool! How cool! But for those people who do, like, there are people that, they feel fine. And then as they get older, they're like, I'm so much more comfortable. I would much more, So I think there's room for transitioning at any age. And I really hope there's not a stigma on anybody older doing that. That's one thing too. I want these people know that they're like, oh my God, I regret that I never, but it's like, no, no. I mean, yes, it would be cool. But because you didn't and you transitioned at 50 or whatever, you have this life experience that you can take into that.
Hmm.
And so I want everybody to know you transition whenever you feel comfortable and you have the ability to do it. That that would be my answer to it.
I just have a thought now regarding that. Do you think that's just tell me if this question is appropriate or not? Do you think that uh, uh, you know transgender transgender to be a to a woman or a man? Do you think it's how the society judge the same way or not? Do you think it's more
Not at
difficult?
all. Not at
No,
all.
that's my
No. No. Trans women, male to female. Uh. That because again, it goes up against. the patriarchy and misogyny. I noticed that immediately when I transitioned. And again, I am so glad. I said in one of my posts, I'm so glad that I didn't transition to 22 because I have the empathy. I know what it's like to walk around as a woman in this world, even a butch woman. You are treated so differently. You are second class. As soon as I started transitioning, I'm looked at with respect. I'm not dealt with.
Wow.
It is so different. And that's why I think in our society, they're not worried about trans men. Going to bat. It's the trans woman because of that patriarchy. And
Wow.
but I'm going to tell you a little side thing. I've always saw this as there's a positive and negative. Now the operations from male to female, they're great. They're very well. Female to male, not so much. It's quite different. But
The difference.
yeah, the different are it because even in all 40 years, they still haven't made that much progress. Which for me, I don't care. But so there is a big difference the way society treats trans men and trans women.
Wow. 2 questions left. Let's do it.
Okay.
My God, Justin, I could be here another 2 hours just talking to you about that. I love that talking to you because, again, you are educating people, you are helping people, you are, you know, again, breaking stigmas. It's amazing to talk to someone about that. Before the next question, tell me, through your life experience, tell me a situation that you felt very uncomfortable for being a transgender and something that you laugh about, a situation that for you was funny or you found interesting, something that, you
Okay.
know, if you could share the two sides of it.
Okay. Well, early in my transition, actually, I think before hormones, I just had a cross live. I was making a pickup at this one company, and
Uh,
there was another guy from my company that the crew picking up another delivery, and the only way to get to the mailroom was through the bathrooms. And so I was like, I can't walk with him through the boys' room in the guys' dude. So I start going through the women's room, and there was a lady in there, and she lost. She goes, "What are you doing? Get out of here!" And I had to go. I'm sorry. I'm a girl, and it just like crushed. It was like, ugh. That's always been in my mind. It's like, ugh.
right.
Now one of the funny ones is I was going with some of my lesbian friends to a women's bar, and this bar had been having problems with straight men coming in and messing with the women. So I go up there, I'm like trying, and they're like, "Are you a gay man?" And I'm like, "No, but I used to be a lesbian." And they're like, "Oh, okay." So that was my, I could use that kind of a humor on it. But so,
I I was watching as well an interview of a transgender yes, transgender male.
uh,
And he said that he said, because he got a beautiful wife, and he was saying, why the people they are picking on me all the time, because I get more beautiful girls than the other men. I guess.
you know why? Do you know why trans men get women? Or it is because we have this understanding, like a woman, she's on her period, right? We're like, "Oh, I'm sorry. Is there anything I can do for you? What can I do? It's horrible. I know." The other guy, like, you know.
I
So
know.
there's so many things that we come at life quite differently that our women appreciate. So
Next question is, what does happiness mean to you?
happiness, freedom is just there's this sense of not being weighted down with worries, concerns. Um, Once, because I know for myself, if I am just overwhelmed, there is no happiness at that moment. It's just being like a wet blanket on it.
Right.
So, yeah.
Do you believe that happiness is a choice?
In a lot of ways, yes. Yes. It's very easy to be happy with, I like it as happenstance, right? What is happening in your circumstance at the moment. So you can be at Disney World, right? You're going to be happy. Is that a choice? No, it's just because this is where you are. So in the moment of when you're being discriminated against or all these things are coming up, that is the choice of, you know what? I am not going to carry this on me. I am choosing to. I can't do anything about this,
Okay,
except the only thing I can do about it is not bring it into my heart and put it aside.
totally.
So yeah,
Great. Last question, ready?
yes.
Let's do it. Last one. Like dancing, Justin.
Oh, I love to dance. It's one of my favorite things to do.
Before the last question, people watch this interview right now. Maybe they are in a moment of their life that they want to start a transition, yeah.
Hmm.
But for some reason, maybe they don't see support out there. Maybe they don't have, people to kind of clarify more deeply for them. They are a bit confused, or I mean, confused not about themselves, but confused about
Hmm.
what how things gonna turn around. So what would be your best
Right.
piece of advice?
I would say if you can't physically, socially, medically transition, no, that doesn't change who you are inside. You are still you. My reference to that, I always think of this. I don't know if you know the movie The Elephant Man.
Um,
John Merrick. John Merrick was a man who had this disease. I can't remember. I think it's called elephant disease. He did not look like a human. And I
mhm.
remember this one moment. He's like, I am not an animal. I am a human being. He was this. People thought he was stupid. He was a brilliant man, but they couldn't see it from the outside. So that I want to tell people, it does. People may not see you now. You know who you are. You will. That doesn't change. I don't care what you look like on the outside. You are still the man that you think you are, the woman you think you are, or the non-binary person that you think you are. Yeah.
It's just you, and you are yourself. That's what matters.
Right. And it's very hard, but that's that choice of knowing I'm secure in myself. Hopefully one day the world will see it. But
Totally.
right now I see me.
Amazing. Beautiful.
Yeah.
Okay, last question is, which
Okay.
question you don't have an answer for?
What question do I not have an answer for?
Mhm.
how, how long will I live life?
Good one.
I don't know how long I'll be alive.
Do you believe that there are other lives after this one, that one point we're gonna, you're gonna pass somewhere? Do you think there is another continuation or not?
I do believe our souls
Hmm.
are will continue. Of course, this body is just, it's our body suit. It's what
Yeah,
we use to move around in. Yeah, our bodies. I think we'll be free from this existence. I don't know if this is boot camp here. I don't know where we're going or what's happening, but I really think that our essence will continue somehow.
beautiful.
Yeah.
Okay, it's not the end yet. Let's play now the word association game. Okay, I'm going to give away
Okay.
some words. Just tell one word that comes to your mind. Quick thinking. Let's start with money.
Yeah. uh, green. That's sorry. That's
Not right or wrong. What comes to your mind?
okay.
Fear,
Yeah. Joy,
life,
death,
love,
hate,
family,
strangers,
sex,
intimacy,
politics,
yuck.
friendship,
I'm sorry. What was that last one?
friendship,
Friendship. Relationships,
religion,
disillusion,
desire,
hungry,
regret,
none,
success,
life,
wish,
hope,
happiness.
love,
One word for Texas.
get out. Oh, that's 2 words. Uh,
I'm scared to say the next one now because I want to see your answer.
okay.
USA, one word.
Oh gosh. Help.
Okay. And, and the last one now, transgender community, one word.
Life.
Beautiful. Let's pretend I'm going to meet your wife for a coffee, and I'm going to ask her, define Justin in one positive and one negative word only. What she would say?
I think she'd say joy.
And
I hope.
negative?
The
And
negative?
yeah?
Negative. Messy.
14 years of relationship. I'm sure she knows what she's talking about.
Yes, she does. She does.
Now, Justin, in the magic box, and you can ask me a question. Okay, Justin, you can ask me a question now.
What brings you joy?
Oh my God, that's a beautiful question. Beautiful question. You know, what brings me joy is this moment we are having right now. You know, when I'm here, connect with around the globe, Justin, I can tell you, you are having the best of me right now. That's the best really you can
That's
have.
great.
When I'm here, sitting here, and have this interaction, learning, teaching, sharing situations, emotions. I'm gonna be very honest to you. You just said something this interview that it was something very simple, like a very simple words that I'm sure I've saw difference, but I never kind of like when you digest the something like hearing when you said about transgender and transsexual. I never you just said transgender and you explained very briefly. That's it for me. I've learned you made my day because I learned something new that maybe I wasn't aware of. The way you just said and the way you explained was very simple and easy, but I just got straight away, and straight away I thought he made my day already just with this.
How cool.
So yeah, so that's that's when I'm sitting here and I have the best, of course. And when I'm with friends, family, and I love being myself as well. I love like spend time with myself, and I feel the greatest. But based on your question, when I'm here doing the interview, is the greatest you can have from me, for sure.
Oh, very cool. All right.
Did you enjoy the interview?
Yeah, this has been great. Thank you. It's so
Thanks
much
again.
fun.
Thanks again for taking the time. Thanks for taking the time on your beautiful day today for the interview. Thanks again. And carry on with your videos, educating people, breaking stigmas. And I think it's people out there doing the same. I think it's amazing to educate ourselves. You know what I mean? I think when we just need to be more open-minded and understanding as well.
Yeah.
Just be understanding. Even if you don't want to get too into it, you don't want to understand more or to get more deep, but just respect, and that's it. You've done a good job there.
Yeah. That's the whole thing, because people, it's like you don't have to understand.
No.
Just accept and respect.
Totally.
So.
And for you and me, we have our things as well that's difficult for us to understand, but we just respect, and that's it. It's
Right. Exactly.
Before you go, if you can share a positive message or anything that you live by.
Okay. I'm going to quote the great philosopher, RuPaul. If you can't love yourself, how the hell are you going to love anybody else?
Beautiful. We can enjoy your time over there, and you keep in touch.
Thank you.
Okay?
Thank you so much. You too.
Regards to your wife and your friends as well.
I will.
Take care. Bye-bye. Take care. Bye. So, did you like the show? Don't forget to give a like, to share it, and also don't forget to subscribe to the channel. And if you'd like to be part of the show as well, first, subscribe to our channel, and after that, just go to our website, www.williamandthemagicbox.com, and send us a request saying why would you like to be part of the show. And I see you there. Bye-bye. See you next time.